when you talk about the future of the jam scene, one name that always comes up is Dogs in a Pile. They take the exploratory spirit of the Grateful Dead and Fish, and they add this fresh, youthful exuberance to it that really takes it next level. Today we're talking to guitarist Brian Murray. We're joined today by Brian Murray, guitarist extraordinaire for Dogs in a Pile. How are we doing today?
Hey, doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks. Yeah, you just got off the road, wrapped up the a leg of your tour there. How did it go? What's the report from the road?
It was it went well. It was great. We it was a really scenic tour. You know, a lot of places out west, in Colorado and Wyoming and Utah and New Mexico, and it was just gorgeous. And you know, never really been out there in like the heat of the summer, so it was really nice. I got to do a lot of fishing.
Oh, nice.
Because a lot of venues were by rivers and stuff, so I did a lot of trout fishing there.
Well, yeah, you played Dillon, the Dillon Amphitheater. It's right on the water there.
Yeah.
That's great. That's cool.
Got to hang out in some pretty cool places, and playing in some of those outdoor venues is really, really special, you know.
Yeah, it looked like it. It looked like even the one that you just wrapped up in Utah. Weren't you guys like on a ski resort or at the base of a ski resort playing?
Yes. Yeah, we were.
That looked awesome.
Yeah, incredible. You're just looking at the mountains while you're playing music. It's very inspiring. Really cool.
That's very cool. Very cool. Right on. And New Mexico, I got engaged in Santa Fe years ago. I love Santa Fe. That must have been kind of cool too. Not many bands stop in Santa Fe these days as like a stopping place, and it's a really cool spot. Yeah,
it is really cool. I've only we were in Santa Fe one other time. We haven't been anywhere else playing in New Mexico. It's a really special place.
Yeah,
really cool.
Where else are you playing in New Mexico? Taos,
that's cool.
Maybe.
Where else?
Yeah,
I don't know. Oh, yeah, I heard about that place too. I guess Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, yeah, I was gonna say.
Albuquerque, right. Who can forget the late great Neil Young? I mean, the great Neil Young.
Right.
God help us. We have something called the Neil Young Minute we do on one of our shows, which is a whole thing in itself. So what do you? Why don't we keep with the touring, and then we're gonna like do now and then go all the way backwards. You got some other cool stuff coming up, right? When do you pick back up and hit the road again?
We pick back up at June Lake Festival. I believe that's on what's the date on that again?
I think it's the 7th and the 8th, or I think it's the weekend of it's the weekend of the 5th through the 7th in September.
Okay, great.
You guys are playing the final night, which is the 7th. I think you're playing like the 6:30 slot on the 7th.
Yeah. So we just had that big tour, but I guess it's technically still the summer tour. So we have this like these couple of weeks in between. So we continue there, and really looking forward to that. Haven't been there before. There's a lot of California on this tour, so we go even further west. I love going out to California and stuff.
How many times have you guys played a festival set or a festival show like this one? And this one's actually going to be streamed on Volume, which will be very cool. So everybody can watch it out there. It should be free on Volume to check it out. So I know you guys have set it from like 6 to 8 that night, but how was playing a festival set compared to just, a regular show, so to speak?
It's fun. You know that you have a lot of people there seeing you for the first time. So, you kind of, and you also have limited time. You usually have like an hour long set list, or maybe an hour 15, sometimes an hour and a half, sometimes 45 minutes. So you have to adjust accordingly and try to like present all the different facets musically of the band in a short amount of time.
Best foot forward.
Yeah, for sure. Or just, and sometimes it's during the day, so you would play different songs during the day, compared to what you would with a light show at night. Right. But it's really fun, and you get to hang out with a lot of other bands and artists, and also get to see some pretty cool music yourself. So, we were at Bonnaroo recently and got to see some really cool artists that day before it got rained out. But
did you guys actually get to play?
We did, yeah. We were on the Thursday, and
Nice.
they canceled it after the after that.
But a Mountain Jam. I got to watch the whole Mountain Jam set because that was all they did that whole thing on Volume, and I was so taken with you guys. I was like, wow, really? It's this is something special. And you had our Molly Tuttle, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the night she came out and did New Speedway, which was simply fantastic. But
yeah,
I love the festival sets are cool.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, as a jam band, is it kind of hard to rein into the time frame that you have to play within, so you can't necessarily take some sort like as far as you want to, or like know that you kind of have to reel it in a little bit to keep the set list going?
For sure. Yeah, you definitely have to. It's challenging to try to contain the improvisation. So sometimes it's nicer to play like a fewer amount of songs. But it's tough because you want to play certain songs and you can't necessarily get to them with a short amount of time. But it's really good. I think it's a healthy exercise for the band to. We've learned how to play in so many different settings and formats and lengths of time that we've gotten pretty good at it and ending on time, which is extremely important.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to get those overages. Yeah.
So,
how do you? Let me ask you about. We did a whole thing about Sturgill Simpson the other day because he says not a jam band. But it's the set list thing is what we've taken. The crux of the matter is if you play the same songs night after night, you can't be a jam band. We talked to Ryan from Humphreys. And he was like, I'd love to play the same songs night after night because when we have a new song, we want to play the new song night after night. How do you feel about having, or do you feel like you have to change the set list every night and do 4 nights with not playing the same songs over and over?
Yeah, I like to not really break the that rule, I guess, of different. Yeah, I don't know. As a fan of some of those bands, I really love that. That the show you're seeing is unique.
Mm-hmm.
There's not going to be another one like it ever. Like that same exact set list is never going to be played again. So that's really cool, and I feel like that keeps people coming back. And keeps the fans engaged, and you can kind of bet on what you're going to hear. So, but yeah, it is also being in the band. It's challenging because you want to play a new song or a song that you're feeling really good about, or someone asks you for it, like, oh, can we hear that tonight? And it's like, oh,
we did it last night. Man, I don't know.
Keep coming back.
But I was gonna say, yeah, exactly, right there. That's the tease, right? You're like, oh, but I want to hear him play this song, so I guess I got to see him.
Yeah,
again and again and again until I hear it again. Until I hear it, and then once you hear it, you're like, well, now I got to hear it again. So it keeps you coming back.
Yeah, I joke with my friend all the time because he wants to hear a certain song. I'm like, oh, you got to keep coming back.
And then when you kind of tease it, to him, be like, oh, I threw a tease in there for you tonight. Not the whole song though. So
yeah, and then he'll call me because he sees we played it somewhere far away. He's like, what the heck,
You're like, get on the bus, man. You got to tour with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Hit the road.
That's great.
Let me ask you about your guitar. Is that Dale Earnhardt's number on there?
It is.
It is. Are you just a big fan of Dale Earnhardt, or is there some other ulterior motive?
No, yeah, I'm a fan, and that guitar came with that racing stripe.
Okay.
Like, oh, what if I put a number on here? So now I have a number 4 on my gold Don Grosh Stratocaster style. Okay. That guitar was a gift from our good friend Jim out west, and it just kind of like, I don't know, when I put the guitar on, it just feels like I'm stepping into a vehicle, getting ready to drive. You know what I mean? So it kind of it seems fitting. You know.
Nice. Nice.
Right.
I like it.
You joined the band a year or so after they first had started to get together, and that's when obviously I feel like the sound gelled and you guys started to become what you are today. When you walked into it, what was the conversation like with Jimmy Law about, all right, we're going to have two guitars, we're going to have co-leads, because you're finger picking, he's a little more of a shredder, your guitar tones are different, it works wonderfully, but what were the conversations like?
Oh man, well, I think it was a challenge at first, but it kept me working from the very beginning on working on how I can approach being another instrument in this band, because you know you have your roles of playing lead and you have your roles of comping or playing rhythm behind something like that, and so you already had a keyboard player and he's filling in so much of that. But when I was joining, I think you know I definitely paid attention to that and tried to fit in the best way that I could. So when I joined, it was kind of everything that was getting worked on already kind of started getting reworked on, and we kind of had new sea legs from there. So I kind of trained myself to, when Jimmy was down here on the fingerboard, I was up here, and when he was up here, I was down here, and he was always on positions on the pickups 1, 3, and 5. I was always between on 2 and 4, okay, which I naturally liked already on the guitars that I played. Yeah, just, you know, it was a lot of conversations about not stepping on toes, and I feel like it didn't take very long for us to find our thing with that, Jimmy and I particularly. Which is great, you know, and yeah, also to fit it in with the keyboard player, especially with all this improvisation that we're doing. It's still a work in progress, but I think it got to, like, you know, a comfortable level with us pretty early on. But yeah, there were a lot of conversations, and when it started to click, it was like, you know, we felt good.
It's clicking, man. It's clicking.
It's great.
Yeah.
I keep passing you torches all the time. So just so you know, when we're doing like our live show, I throw you guys out there. I'm like, yeah, that's the one. Watch out for them. I mean, yeah, I think you have the complete package. Your vocals are strong. Do you guys work on your vocals?
We do. Yeah. We do warm-ups before shows now.
Nice.
That's something that we're starting to do consistently, which is great, and taking vocal lessons, and yeah, there's still a long way to go. You know, there's always a long way to go. But
so many bands, it's an afterthought. And I like when bands say, you know, this is a component of it. I mean, the Grateful Dead were not the best singers, but, you know, at some point in the early 70s, they put in time to make that Working Men's Dead album to try to get the Crosby, Stills, Nashy kind of harmony thing.
They still were really good.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
Better than most.
I mean, Garcia's phrasing. Garcia is a brilliant taking a lyric and singing it. I mean, he's Sinatra level with that, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean,
really,
he just gives a whole lifetime of experience and wisdom into one line and pours his heart out into every note, you know. Better than a lot, you know.
Most, yeah.
Not better than, but he does it really well, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely,
really.
Definitely. He's a crooner. He was a crooner. Good for him.
It's great. It's great to hear, you know, bands like that say that, you know, like you guys say that, like, oh, we're starting to work on that. We know we have a long way to go with things and stuff. It's great because it's like you always keep moving forward, keep learning, keep improving the craft. I mean, you know, and to that point, Kev, even like look at Fish. I mean, they keep kind of not inventing themselves, but each new album and each new thing is different and it just keeps going. And that's the way I think you have to survive these days, 30, 40 years on, which who would have thought it'd really last that long, but you never know. And you put in the time and before you know it, you can get there. So
yeah, I definitely admire that. Always adding, no matter what level you're at, you kind of just, you know, a band like that, you know, they could easily just go and do the same thing because they know it works. You know, they know it's worked, but instead they just keep it fresh. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole thing with like the set lists and stuff like we were talking about. Like you want to keep it fresh and different and changing it up. So it's all those components. for sure.
No. One thing that I really like that you do, let's talk a little bit about songwriting here. Well, why don't we start with how does that work? Do people bring in fleshed out thing? I think this is where the song is, or do you guys sit together and create it and somebody throws some lyrics on it?
Yeah, it happens a number of ways. Sam and I write a lot of songs together, and the way that we go about it is sometimes we'll plan on getting together, but I'd say maybe half the time, but half the time we're just like together with instruments and like check out this thing I came up with. And then, you don't really like plan for it to be a writing session, but it's like someone has another idea to add to it, and you just like have to add it right then, right there. And then it just turns into a songwriting session. And then an hour and a half later, you like walk out with this thing that you're really excited about. So it'll happen that way. It'll happen where we book a session and maybe we kind of will maybe write a song one session or chip away at a few of them. Yeah, so that'll happen between any which band member. Everybody writes together in different combinations, different ways. But we also co-write with a lot of friends and people outside of the band as well, which is a lot of fun to do. Recently, I've been traveling to Nashville for a week at a time, where I get with different songwriters and try to expand my horizons, and also methods of going about writing songs by writing with new people. And gotten a few Dogs on the Pile songs out of that so far, and which is a lot of fun, and I love going there. I would say that usually the music comes first, unless somebody has an idea of something that they want to write about. Sam's really good at that. He's really good at that. He'll be talking about a friend or an experience to write about or something, and he can pretty much start plotting it out right away.
That's cool.
A melody like you swear you've heard before, but you haven't, because it's just good and it's original. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's fun. It's fun when Sam and I get into it with writing. It's like this really excited back and forth that just like does this until it comes together.
Such a fascinating process, like how it does come together, and even from the seed to finally having a complete song that you're then playing in front of people. It's such an interesting.
Yeah, and I've had that with every other band member too, with Joey, with Jeremy, and with Jimmy.
That other guitarist.
That dude.
Yeah, it's great. It's such a fun thing, and that feeling that when you feel like you've created something wonderful together with a friend like that. It's a really nice experience.
That, and then actually seeing the reaction from people when you play it has to be like overwhelming sometimes too, that you're like, we put in all this work on this song and now they love it and they want it. And
no matter how silly it is too, right. the inside joke behind it that people don't, like
don't get or don't know, but still enjoy it.
It's amazing. Like something like Look Johnny, that was written 6 or maybe 7 years ago, probably 6 years ago. That's a long time for me. And I feel, and to just go to some state very far away from where you grew up and where you met as a band and have numerous people singing along to it, getting joy out of that. That's really cool.
It's fantastic.
Cool. Yeah, that's special. That's cool.
I wrote like 60 songs with this guy at one point, because we wanted to write a contemporary Christian hit. We figure we can make all this money selling some Christian artist a song, and none of them never even got anywhere near God with any of it. I mean, it was
really.
So can't imagine why, Kev. I can't imagine. You're so close to God. I can't imagine why it didn't work for you.
Some of this stuff was fantastic, man. We could have been huge. A lot of personal experiences in what you do. There's fictional characters. I feel like you're building a mythology with the songs you're writing, which is one of the things that always attracted me to the Grateful Dead. On Fish, some levels. Little weird thing. What's up with Thomas Duncan? Can you give me any inside information on Thomas Duncan?
I don't know how much. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. We haven't heard from the last of
There you go.
him, or about the last of him.
He's
That's-
an enigma in the making.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
like it.
pretty much.
I just love it. I think it's so fun that you guys do that. And doesn't the Johnny have multiple parts too?
Yeah, there are multiple Johnnies.
There are several Johnnies running around.
Yeah, yeah.
I absolutely love it. Absolutely.
Our lighting guy calls our road cases Bad Johnnies. That's not what the songs are based on, but it reminded me of that. He's like, let's get this Bad Johnny, a couple of these Bad Johnnies over here. You can set that over there.
Nice.
Nice.
How big of a crew do you have? Do you tour with?
We travel with 4 crew regularly and a driver, so 5. And we have 5 band. So that's 10 in the vehicle at all times. And then you have people when it's like closer to home, other people that our friends, family, or other crew will come and join us. It's a really fun process, and we're always working to make it better together. You know, it's really cool because the Dogs in a Pile crew, everybody started with this, so we're all learning together at the same time organically, which is
Love that.
really cool. Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. Everyone's on the same level and everyone's kind of coming up together,
yeah,
going through it. That's cool. That's awesome. And you're building a great, not just a crew, but it's kind of like family at that point. You know, it's like all doing it together. So it's
well,
not
absolutely.
just
Yeah.
working together. Yeah. And then that comes through in the art, in the music, and the lights and everything, because everybody knows what's going on, you know. So that's awesome.
For sure, yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
intrinsic, like communal kind of
Yeah.
thing. I think maybe that's yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that people are attracted to the experience. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
that people
Shows.
feel like they could be a part of something special. You know,
And getting in, you know, early with a band like that is awesome too for the fans, because then you feel like you got in and watched them grow from
They're my band.
right and
That's-
playing these smaller shows. I saw them when they were playing in front of 25 people at a local bar, and then I saw them when they played this smaller festival, and now they're, you know, so yeah, it's cool.
yeah,
Kinda
people
like-
I love telling people. I love telling people I saw Fish at the 8x10 back in 1989.
Did you really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
was
cool
18.
thing. We were there.
Oh.
Were you at the show? Were you at the dog show recently?
No, I was not. I was
We got
not.
to
I don't
do-
have a car.
That was awesome.
Actually,
Yeah.
you guys are going to play. I want to figure out how to get to Catonsville. You guys are playing in Catonsville at some point at the Vortex or something. I believe sometime in the fall. The guy Dennis Barth, my stepfather played in a beer league softball, and the bar we hung out in after the games was owned by Dennis Barth's uncle. So I've known that guy since we were kids in the 70s, which is weird. Anyway, there's your left turn. Let me ask you about Berklee. What is up with Berklee, man? Every jam band seems to have somebody went to Berklee. There's some connection there with it. It seems like such a fertile ground for.
Yeah, a lot of the more recent bands, yeah, you notice that trend. What's up with it? I don't know. I mean, it's a good.
It's cool.
It's a really awesome place. Yeah.
Right, but did they encourage the thinking that goes into being a jam band, the exploration, the willing to take the chances and things like that?
Oh yeah, yeah. You just got to find your clicks there. I think. You know, it's a contemporary school. It's a very hip school. You know, they do so much more than jazz, which is plenty hip already, and classical. But yeah, you know, there are so many different majors for different, you know, contemporary writing and just production and, you know, the tech side of things and the production studio side of things. And yeah, I mean, anything that you want to do musically, you can pretty much find other students and teachers that are into it that you could teach you all about it, and then you can learn about it together. And we had that with before Dogs in a Pile, we had a band called Scotch Bonnet, me and Jeremy Kaplan and Sam Lucid. and this other guy, Sam Ruff, on drums. And another guy, Josh Smith, who we had on percussion. We had a band called Scotch Bonnet, and then it changed to Otherwise Useless Children, OUC. And
I love it.
and so we played like house shows and stuff, but then we got around to doing a directed study class, something called the directed study class, with this guy named Rick Peckham, who was one of my favorite teachers at school. He was awesome. He was in the guitar department, still is, actually, and he basically, we had a class where it was like an ensemble class where we go in there with our instruments and perform, and rehearse. But he was basically just like coaching us through our development as a band, which is really neat. So he had so many different tips on playing together and arrangement skills and improvisation skills, dynamics, and everything. And so we basically worked on a catalog of songs for a semester and then got to play them at the end of the semester at the David Friend Recital Hall.
Cool.
In the 921 building on Boylston in Boston. It was killer. It was great. And he was a great teacher and is really funny and has so many funny analogies for music. But yeah, that was one of the biggest things we got out of Berklee. Also, the depth of harmony knowledge that Jeremy and Sam have from school is insane. And that really helps us as a band with improvisation.
Really?
Being able to identify any chord on the spot. Like Sam, he would have us over to his apartment, and our version of partying then was like just gathering around his keyboard, and he would just play these chords and insist that you get it right, answering back. First it was intervals, but then you'd learn intervals, fairly quickly, and then it's like these chords, and also chord progressions and stuff like that. And we would also like quiz each other on solfege and stuff like that. So the band is able to communicate melodies to each other really well via solfege, singing like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, stuff like that.
That's really cool.
All the notes in between. So yeah, Berklee is awesome. Yeah, I know people from. Yeah, I could probably name at least half a dozen bands in the scene that went there. So yeah, and it's got a really rich history, and there's a lot of great venues to play around there too if you want to try to book your own shows there when you're in school. So yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a really cool place.
That's awesome, and that's fascinating to get a little peek behind the curtain of hearing that, how you guys sort of hung out, and like your version of partying at that time was more like studying and like hunkering down and like learning music and doing drills on music. That's awesome to hear, and that's obviously paid off because, like you said, it helps so much. That's really cool to hear. I love that.
Yeah,
it's fascinating. It's cool to hear how bands sort of, because you don't think about that a lot of times as fans. You're just like, oh, they nailed that, or oh, they sound so good. It's just like natural, like these guys just got together because they sound so good. You never really think about the time and the effort and all the hours spent, not just in rehearsal and doing that, but like before that and like learning the music and learning all of that. It's really fascinating.
No, yeah, it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Many conversations, and yeah.
All of it. Yeah, I'm sure.
Nights dissecting the music and what works and what doesn't. And yeah.
But that's like when it's like that too, it's not even really learning. It's like your passion, right? So like it's all fascinating and fun and absorbing that knowledge. It doesn't even feel like you're really.
Yeah, most of the time. But it's also hard work because it gets
like everything.
Hard work when you're doing it long enough and it's that in depth. The passion is always there.
Right.
Everybody cares about it so much, but that can lead to it being tough at times because you have all these different angles of looking at things and you're trying to figure out this thing together of like what works and what doesn't work. And so, yeah, it's a long.
And it can get frustrating and like, yeah, I'm sure all that kind of gets in there sometimes, but.
Oh, sure. Yeah. But it's just, I guess my point is just, it's a lot of work, but I'm glad that we've put in the work that we have, and we're obviously still got a long ways to go.
you're on the right track. Like everything's looking. I mean, you know, so far the work that's put in's paid off. So you know, kind of what to keep doing and what to keep going. Hopefully, because you're on the right track. Like everything's awesome. So it's good.
Yeah. Thank you.
You got 2 albums out. How big is your pool of originals beyond that? Because what's that, 19, 18 songs maybe total on the 2 albums?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think we have. We just broke 100. I think we're a little bit over 100 songs. And there are so many more unfinished, too. Probably at least double that unfinished. That you know, it's not always easy to finish a song because you want it to be good,
Right.
which is hard to set aside sometimes. The fact that you want something to be good, so you get nervous about not finishing it because you feel like it'll not live up to whatever it could be. But with time, a lot of the songs get finished, or they're just forgettable and they get forgotten about. But yeah, so yeah, there's a 3rd album that's being worked on. It'll come sometime soon.
Nice.
And yeah, we started it in LA, which is fun.
Earlier this year?
Last year.
Last year. Okay, last year. Right. Now, this was this when you did that residency at Winston's Beach Club or something like that? Didn't you play like a whole month every Thursday?
Yeah, for 4 weeks we did a gig each at per week at Venice West in Venice, and we also did Winston's in San Diego, and we hit everything in between. We did that in Colorado too, and it was a lot of fun. It's kind of a nice thing to do because you kind of build the word of mouth
Yep.
crowd as it goes in each of those venues for 4 weeks, and then you kind of hit all these new markets for the first time in between. And then when you come back, you're able to play a bigger room or multiple nights at a certain place, which is cool.
Yeah.
We're going to do that in Chicago too coming up. We have 3 gigs at the new Garcia's that was just
Nice.
open.
Nice.
Which is cool. So that's like 3 weeks in a row, and we hit Midwest on tour in between. You know,
There you go, like an anchor almost. That's cool. I like that. Do
That's
you
a really
feel
cool
like
way. Yeah, Kev. I mean, you always talk about touring and ways to kind of break it up and what to do. That's a really cool way to do it. Like I like that a lot. That makes a lot of sense because it gives you time and a place to stay in and have people come kind of travel, but not travel far to see you, while also kind of also building out that fan base. That's really a smart idea.
yeah, and it's just a great way for us to like get to know a place
Mm-hmm.
Right.
in a nice way, you know.
And not have to be like constantly.
Yeah, and really get to appreciate, you know, a certain vibe, you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
a certain place and a group of people and new friends that you get to meet out.
And plus, yeah, that vibe, it's so different compared, you know, like California compared to Chicago. It's totally different. Like everything, the crowds, the vibes, everything. So it's cool to like
Oh yeah,
sort of like,
it must be. Yeah.
yeah.
You do a lot of YouTube free streams on YouTube. What went into the decision with that? I know I've seen Eggy do it. Spafford has done it. Other people have done it in the past. I think it's a fantastic way to get someone to watch without having to, you know, like the first one's free kind of thing.
Yeah.
What went into that decision? Yeah.
With the I mean, I don't know, at this level it feels like it's appropriate for it to be free, I guess. Or relative. I don't know. I don't really know. But what I do know is our guy Ross, who is in charge of all that stuff, as well as Mr. Tooker, our video guru, Kieran. Those two work together a lot on you know, picking the right clips and ensuring that we have video set up at almost every single gig, you know, if we can, and working really hard to create. Also, Casey, our friend Casey, has a great eye for this stuff as well, and yeah, we have a great team working to make sure that the video, you know, kind of kind of encapsulates the experience of a live show the best you can. You know, it's never going to be the experience as it is when you're standing there. But yeah, Jeremy on keys early in the game kind of decided and worked towards recording every single show, at least audio, very early on, which is awesome. Because if he didn't do it, it wouldn't have happened. And so, yeah, the video kind of took on that shortly after. And so, yeah, you know, Kieran's always working at making the videos really interesting and looking good, and the lighting and, you know, the angling. So much goes into it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
and it's great for family and friends too, to just be able to see a stream is really fun for people and keeps people engaged. And if you can't make it to the show, you know, to be watching it on couch tour or whatever is you know, really fun. And it's cool
the best.
People watching too, you know, that your friends are watching from afar. So it's like they're there.
And then can comment to you too, even post show or text you and be like, "Oh man, this is so good," and you're like, "Oh, you saw that?" Like, you know, that's so cool. Like, I love that shit. And we're huge on, like, we try to do streams of bands, and like I went on tour with Taper's Choice and filmed like their whole fall tour a couple years ago and did that. And it's such a good, to me, when we started communicating with them and I was like, "Can I come film your shows?" They're like, "Yeah, we don't care, whatever." So I started filming like all their shows. And to me, I just think it's like you said, natural progression from taping or recording, which they were doing already to get the music out. But I was like, you might as well have video of it too, so people can watch it that didn't get to see it. And I think it works both ways. It shows the venue off, which is awesome, but then it also shows you guys off, which is even more awesome, because then you can build your fan base. And doing it for free and streaming it for free, especially not really, you know, starting out or like building your fan base, it goes along with that whole like family, like we were talking about with your crew, and like the organic building of a fan base for free. And people are like, "Oh, this is awesome. Why wouldn't I watch this?" I mean, you know, Gizzard does it now too, free. And we were just talking about them the other day, and Stu was saying from them, you know, it should be, it costs a lot for us to do it, but it's worth it for the fans to be able just to tune in and watch it and not have to pay for it. And I think that's an amazing thing. And that's a great barrier breaker for people to get into you.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It does take a lot of work to get it running, but you know, it's totally worth it at the end of the day. And you always
and to have guys on your crew that do it is, you know, that's awesome to have that built in with you guys always. So you're always knowing it's being filmed. It's a great record of everything. It's really cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you listen back?
Do I listen back? I do. Not to everything. I think it would be better if I listened more. But I'm kind of like, you know, I'm critical. It's hard to, if I feel like really, really good about a particular track on a particular night, I'll like listen. And but I'll listen to a show too. You kind of got to make sure that the product is sounding good, that the mix is sounding good, and just see how it translates over listening back, because it's never the same. If you think a show was insanely good and you listen back, it, like, I don't know if it's the live energy or just how you felt in the moment versus how you feel after the fact. It's probably
that's where I was going. Is there a disconnect? Is there a disconnect between walking off stage how you felt and a week later?
Yeah, I don't know if I can really figure it out. But maybe it's cooler that way.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Because it truly only lives the way it is once.
Right.
You can hear stories about how something was, but that's what makes live music truly special, is you really just, you know, experience it right then and there. And but yeah, I'll listen. And if you think something was like terrible, you're like, "Oh my God, that was the worst show. I can't believe we played that show." And you listen back, it's like never as bad as you thought it was. You know?
Well, famously, Jerry pushed Phil down the steps after a Fillmore West show once, and they used that Dark Star on Live Dead.
I heard that. Yeah.
So,
you never know.
What do you musicians know about what you're playing? You gotta let someone
Can
else.
you listen back though and not be critical of it? Can you just listen like as a fan, or do you have to listen to it kind of with your musician ear and be like, oh, that sounded great or whatever? Can you just kind of like?
Sometimes I can get past the criticism and be able to appreciate what we've accomplished. Yeah, I'd be like, that sounds pretty good. Not all the time.
Right.
But yeah, sometimes you remember like a moment from a show that you're like, oh, that was a great moment. But a lot of them too are like surprises. Like a friend will show me something that happened. And I'm like, oh wow, yeah, I forgot about it. Didn't realize that was.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you ever get feedback from fans that are like, oh, this was the coolest thing ever, and you're like, I didn't even realize that happened, or like, what are you talking about? And then you watch back, you're like, oh shit, that was pretty sweet, or that did sound
when
good.
people say you tease stuff, are you like, no, we weren't teasing that. You're just hearing things.
Oh, sometimes, yeah, someone's like, did you tease this? I swear I heard it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know that song. But also there are so many teases that happen. I don't think people realize how many there are.
Yeah.
Especially in Jeremy's playing.
Right.
The amount of quotes that happen it's crazy. And I don't know what a lot of them are, but I know I've heard that before. But it happens so quick and so naturally. There's a difference between quotes and teases, which I'm learning from Jeremy.
That's fair. I like that idea. I wish that Fishnet would break it down more like that. We always joke about the San Jose tease, or what isn't that the name of it?
Yeah, San Jose tease is in like everything, and I'm always like, I never hear it. How can and Scott Marks always like San Jose tease, San Jose tease. I was like, how do you know Trey played just San Jose right there? How do you know? Like, how do you know that? Like,
yeah, well, yeah, people listen closely to their,
And listen back. I mean, Scott Marks will update things from like 5 years ago and be like, oh, this 2015 teaser or tweezer has this tease in it thanks to Joe for pointing it out. I'm like, who's listening back and like here's this in it? And it's like, hey, Scott, I think he played San Jose. And you're like, no way. Like, I could never.
Dave's Energy Guide. It was a
Dave's Energy Guide. That's the other one. Always.
Absolutely love it. All right. So you laid down some tracks. You were in the studio. When's this album coming out? The new one.
Sometime in the fall.
Okay, cool. Very nice.
Stay tuned.
There you go. All right, so you're back on the road. You got the June Lake coming up, which, like we said, is going to be over on volume. I'm excited to see where you guys go. I really, really like what you're doing. It's very fun. Great. It's fresh.
I love this whole West Coast run you're doing next up. It looks awesome. Like, I'm very excited. I'm definitely going to try and make it out to at least one of the Troubadour shows, if not both, because like I said, it's my favorite venue. Is there anywhere on this tour you guys are excited about playing or you're looking forward to playing?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely looking forward to the Troubadour. We were with Pigeons playing ping pong there one time.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had another one scheduled, but we had to cancel it, unfortunately. But then, we're doing 2 nights there. That's going to be really cool. That's just kind of a fun area and a legendary venue with a lot of stories to be heard from there.
Are you guys, Kevin brought this up, but are you guys streaming the whole tour? Will you be streaming all the shows?
We'll probably be streaming, portions of it. I don't think we'll be streaming every one, but, you can stick with the social media to hear which ones will be live streamed. They usually get announced that day or maybe a day prior or in advance. But should be fun. It kind of depends on certain technicalities to make it work or not. But
absolutely.
Yeah. But also get posted after the fact too, so you get to see clips and videos.
Do you guys, I was going to just ask that real quick, Kev. So if you guys don't stream it, do you still video record it for later to have it? Or is it is it either or is it both? Or is it sometimes if you don't stream it, you just film it?
They still get recorded and usually video recorded. If there's some crazy room that's like too tight or something, or the way the trailer gets in doesn't work, then sometimes you can't get it. But if there's no switcher pro shot video, there's always usually like some handheld video or something,
Cool.
But usually always, record everything. So
Always an archive, always a record. It's great. I
Yeah.
love it. That's
and
cool.
then people come to the show as well and videotape them and photograph them also, which is great. And I always loved audience recorded tapes. There's such an energy about them, and you can really
They're like vinyl, right? They have like that. It's almost like listening to vinyl because they have that crispness or that like the static and like the room sound. And yeah.
And as a fan with other bands, I there are always certain frequencies and notes and the way the mix sits that just like feels more like you're there listening into it that way. But there are also soundboards, obviously, that sound way better. It depends on the show and the venue and the band. And
gotta have a good matrix.
As long as you don't have like Lisa and Jill next to the microphone talking the whole show over, like wait, you're like, I'm trying to
Lisa and Jill. Why are you gonna throw Lisa and Jill under the bus? I like a good matrix mix. 30% audience, 70% soundboard. So you get a little bit of the crowd ambience.
Yeah.
Also, you guys are big on Bandcamp, huh? Lots and lots of shows that you put up there. So if anybody really wants to take a deep dive.
Yeah. Yeah, Bandcamp is awesome. Great way for people to get their music out there and for people to hear it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan. Anything you want to throw out before we wrap up, Brian?
I don't know. Live from New York. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys hopefully soon at a show, maybe June Lake, right?
Maybe June Lake, definitely the Troubadour. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then what's on for the fall after the album comes out? You guys have some dates announced for the fall and through the rest of the year?
There's a lot of good stuff coming up. Well, particularly the Stone Pony summer stage is very exciting for us. That's our
hometown, almost hometown, right?
Town show. Homecoming, I guess, if you will. Yeah, it's going to be great. That's a Labor Day weekend. I think it's the Sunday, on October 31st. And, yeah, it's just such a special spot and has so much history, and the stage that they set up there for that summer stage is awesome. Yeah, that's going to be super fun.
That'll be cool for sure. And then you're opening for Government Mule, right, on like the 28th, I think, later this month at a show.
Yep, that's really exciting too.
That'll be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're such a Mule guy. When Woody died, though, I got out of it. They added the keyboard, it changed it. They were the power trio thing was like the juice. That was,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I saw them like 20 times before Woody died. I went to the one for Woody, and I've only seen them once since then. I just started getting the tapes, and I was like, I don't like this as much. It's like the Warren Haynes band, which is cool. I like it, but I'm not like rabid, and I'm going to drive 6 hours to go see Government Mule because it was the three of them, and it was just loud. Your ears were bleeding when you walked in the street after,
Right.
I got to do some more listening.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. The first two albums, Dose and the self-titled one. Every track is fantastic. Like there isn't a bunk track on it, any of it. After that, they started getting a little full of themselves, maybe. But is this live?
Right.
All right. I guess we're going to wrap up. Brian, thank you so much for putting up with us and
thank you.
taking the left turns with us there. And
right on, man. Thanks a lot.
We're definitely going to watch on Volume. So
yeah, definitely.
For that,
of course.
Cool. Yeah. Go Volume. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Love Volume.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.